Hey, what's going on, everybody? Froggy Stonks here. Nothing to say is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. So, somehow I just lost all my pages. Back up, running. Just so everybody knows, I got a 6-day suspension on Twitter for saying that I would kick someone in the face if it was in a video. Somebody was stealing something from another person. They said, "What would you do?" I was like, "I'd kick them in the face." I got a 6-day suspension for that. So not only do I know now, I mean, it was immediate. It was like that. Not only do I know now that somebody at Twitter is absolutely shadow banning my account. I mean, absolutely shadow banning my account because I just had hundreds and hundreds of attacks on me this last week where people were posting photos and all kinds of nasty stuff about me and saying they were going to come get me and attack me and all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're not banned. But I say on a video where somebody's stealing something from someone that, oh, I would have just kicked them in the face. And I got a 6-day ban. So now I know for sure I was being shadow banned. But the biggest thing is they instantly suspended my account for 6 days where I can't post, like, or retweet anything. And I think it's because I'm being monitored by these hedge funds, like D's Easy said. I think Twitter is more than likely doing exactly what old Twitter did, which is really disappointing because old Twitter was really bad. But the more I talk about TMF and treasury bonds and how shorts are stuck in them and how everything's going to be really bad for them when this is over, the more I gained 300 followers after they gave me a 6-day suspension. How does that even work? Someone somewhere or the algo is keyed up on my account, so whatever. I'm going to start tweeting a lot less about a lot of things. And I think you're going to find that a lot of people on Twitter lower their engagement coming into the election. Whatever's going on at Twitter with the new CEO and the people running Twitter in their safety groups or whatever, they're doing the same thing they were doing before. There's no way I should have got a suspension for what I said there. All I did was comment on a video that showed violent behavior. I'm not the one who posted the violent behavior. Absolutely insane. Regardless, TMF having a really good morning. TLT having a good morning too. We're up 2.5%. HE up 0.25%. Space up 2.5%. And Tesla came all the way back down to where it opened yesterday and threw a bear flag on the day, which is really good. Gapped up this morning. I'm hoping today this thing just falls through the floor, back under this upper trend line, and absolutely just takes a dump on the day. And if it does, our puts are going to print really nice. Right now, I'm pretty much just break even. So that's about all. That's about there all is for that. So why don't that close? What's going on here? There we go. But yeah, Tesla took a massive hit yesterday, right around noon, like I said, and I should have waited. Like I was talking about, I should have waited until this thing hit that upper trend line or RSI, but I averaged down through the day. It worked out pretty good, and now I'm just waiting to see what happens this morning. I'm not going to do a long stream today. Tomorrow's the big day. Today, Gary Gensler, I think Eleanor Tourette. I'm pretty tired right now, so. Eleanor Tourette tweeted, "Good morning, beautiful people. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's oversight hearing starts in 1 hour. You can watch this live stream here." So if you want to go watch the live stream with Gary Gensler from the House Oversight Committee, go to Eleanor's page, or you can go to YouTube. Here's the link. Why won't these go away? There we go. What's up, Nicholas Papa John? So you can watch the Gary Gensler oversight if you would like. If not, that's fine. I'm going to roll into market open. I'm going to watch Tesla, see what it does. It may pop a little, whatever, in the morning, but I do believe this thing is going to break down below these support levels here, 243-ish today. I think it's going to break down, and if I see this get anywhere near 238 again, my puts will be printing really nice. We'll look at possibly getting out before Friday. Like I said, max pain, I believe, was 255 from Swaggy. Thought it was 255. It may have changed. And it looks like they're setting up for Tesla options calls to get 252 now. Perfect. It looks like they're setting up for Tesla options calls to get ripped on Friday, in my opinion. So we will be open in 15 minutes. Other than that, there's nothing really else going on. All these losers are attacking me thinking I've gotten a DUI. AMC Biggums is out there talking shit. And he's so stupid. This is how dumb Biggums is. He doesn't know that I never got a DUI. It's funny. It's hilarious. See, I can't do anything for 6 days. Absolutely stupid. The more I talk about HE and the more I talk about TMF, and suddenly I get suspended. And I hardly even said anything. I literally didn't even say anything. And it was instant. So they were watching me to begin with. But good morning, Jason Richard. Yeah, all these AMC people, man, they are killing me today. Corey's out there harassing women, threatening them to find them. Biggums is out there pushing false propaganda. I love that all these people are saying that I got a DUI and I was drunk driving because I can literally take them to court now. It's absolutely hilarious. And then when they post it, after they post it and I challenge them, they block me so that I cannot comment on their post. So I'm being used as an engagement booster in the AMC community because none of them know what they're talking about. So, ooh, TMF, all right. TMF gapped up, looking to have a strong open. Good morning, Jason. What's going on, man? Tomorrow is the HE hearing, the subcommittee, the House subcommittee oversight on energy. And we will listen to the Hawaiian Electric CEO. Got a bit of a headache this morning, too. All right. Anybody else got any good news for the morning? Anything exciting happening? I do not see anything incredible happening in the market. Morning, what's up? Y'all thinking UAW strikes? You know, should have bought puts on GM a while ago. The writer strike goes over for the entertainment industry. I'm guessing the actor strike is not over. But man, look at that. That is ugly. 63 down to 30. Doesn't look good to me. As soon as I heard strikes, UAW strikes, I should have shorted the piss out of it. When I went to 248, I averaged down, was 50% up yesterday, but couldn't sell because of the day trading restriction. Seems Japan is selling T-bills and buying US dollar. Oh, interesting. Saw Biden use the short stairs to the plane again. Yeah. Look, man. Left, right, center, whatever you are. If you still support Biden, you are probably brainwashed or on drugs because there's so many other better Democrats that could have been president and they picked Biden. I remember when GM was 50 cents back in 2008. Yeah, I remember that too. I remember when I bought a bunch at like 260 or something, and then suddenly they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going bankrupt. That was a great play. I was like 25 maybe. No, I was like 22. Absolutely insane. My first big loss was GM, so I hate GM. But this would have been a good play right here. UAW strikes. Boom. Puts. Within a week. Missed that one. See what AMC's actually doing today. Nothing. This is all the apes. Yay! Boom. Right back down. Adam Aaron's such a con man. All right, we got 8 minutes. I'm going to go blow my nose and get a drink real quick. So heat up my Panda Express spicy chili shrimp that I got for $1 yesterday, which was cool. If you guys have T-Mobile, download the T-Mobile Tuesday app. You get super, super crazy discounts on food and stuff on Tuesdays from like Panda Express. I think other places too, but it was pretty cool. So another perk from T-Mobile, which is nice. Remember when GM was 50 cents? Did you see my previous post? Your previous post on Twitter. What's your tag again, Jason? An analyst gives AMC a 40-cent price target. He ranks 1100 on the worst analyst, but I bet he is more than right. Bigums and Cat. Oh, absolutely, man. Bigums is a fraud. Cat's a fraud. Blunts is a fraud. They're all frauds, man. They're all phonies. They all pushed AMC, buying HODL to the grave and supported Adam Aaron. And Adam Aaron was the suit. Adam Aaron is the suit. I do not know what people don't get about it. I really don't. He is the Apollo global agent. He is the suit. They are intentionally destroying retail shareholders. The first moment that AMC really started to fall off a cliff was when he said that T0 or a one-to-one security token is likely illegal and talked about debt covenants live on Twitter and how he basically couldn't do any dividend payments. And short sellers ran in with that information and shorted the piss out of the company again. Bet the jockey, not the horse. Adam Aaron was the jockey, and he is overweight and slow and dumb. Mark was right. Really sad. And Cat and them are still out there grifting, still trying to get engagement on Twitter. GoFundMe's, phase 6, 7, 8, 9. Blunts is going to start his own exchange. All they did was lose people money and skim money off of. They literally are worse than the hedge funds. They made money off of telling people stuff they knew could be wrong. People handed them money. They got ad revenue, super chats, selling merch. You guys, it's just pathetic. Blunt is out there going to New York talking to freaking finance people to start his hedge fund, to start his exchange or whatever. I mean, that's a huge red flag. It's crazy. It was about the AMC community. I didn't. I don't see it on there, buddy. I see good morning. Your Yeah, I don't see what you said about AMC, man. Repost it. Ugh. Bit of a headache this morning. Apple stores in Philadelphia are experiencing looting. That's nice. It's just a gang of kids. It's literally a mob of kids. Closes down. Huge hordes of individuals have begun uproar and plundered various stores citywide. Fast reaction has been enacted. Philadelphia. Ah, that kid's going to jail. Ha. How's it feel, man? Punch. Yep. Good job, buddy. Now fight the cops and make it even worse. Now your mom, who obviously doesn't care about you, is going to have to drive to the jailhouse and pick you up for resisting arrest, theft and resisting arrest. TLT. Look, man, these young kids out there, you're probably not watching my channel. I don't care how bored you are, what's going on. If kids come up to you and say, let's go rob these stores all at once, don't go, man. Look, your momentary moment of excitement and happiness is going to ruin the rest of your life, man. I got a monster Samsung. All right, bro. The Samsung smart TVs are really convenient. I mean, really convenient. They're good for gaming too. Hope Spy goes back to 424 today. Well, let's see. Where's the Spy? Where are you at, Spy? The little gap up this morning was interesting, but it does look like it's setting up for downside. Some really strange volume coming in pre-market, but man, I told y'all Tesla was gonna eat. It didn't do exactly what I wanted. Wish I would have got more here. I did get some more here. I got more here, and I got more here in this range. And then I watched it roll down. This little bar right at the market close and pre-market yesterday was stupid, which gave us our gap up. But it looks like this thing is going to just break to the downside this morning. And 2 minutes, which is already breaking down. Going to be a great week for puts, baby. Could have got a better entry, but here we are. We're going to rack up our 4th win, hopefully, this week. This should open up, and we should be printing. I'm hoping, let's see. One, we go down and fill this, so we get back down to 243. Then we make a reattempt at 241. And today's only Wednesday. I'm hoping we get into this channel again here. I'm pretty sure 238 is going to be the play. For the week anyways, which is all I've got my things to. So 238 would be great. And then you guys can decide if you want to play it further or not. Because if we come back down, let's say we come back down to 238, that puts us here and then sets us up for the gap fill at 217 next week. Bounce off the upper trend line, collapse. I don't know. Maybe today or tomorrow we just absolutely collapse. It'd be interesting. Maybe this is what takes us back down to 217, 218. Market's open. See what she does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she rips. Let's go, baby. Are there any finance books, papers that you would recommend? Yeah, Willful Blindness, Flash Boys. Sam Cooper, Willful Blindness. There's my dog. Flash Boys is a great book by Michael Lewis. He's the one who wrote the Big Short script. So Michael Lewis, Flash Boys, definitely want that one. These Are Plunderers is an amazing book that'll really hit home by Gretchen Morgensen and Joshua Rosner. These are all books Mark recommended. They're all incredible. They're the top books out in the market. You really want to read them, in my opinion. I've got them all. Dude, I still have some AMC and said something not in line with the rainbows and lollipops theories. They hammered me with no mercy. If you don't say something great about AMC, your butt is grass. Hypocrites. Yeah, they are. By the way, JM Schmucker brand SJM is on a run for Schmucker? What is SJM? Huh. It's like Smucker? JM Smucker. Like food manufacturer. Huh, interesting. Maybe there's some type of buyout or something coming in like we saw with Cisco. That's interesting. All right, what's going on? Tesla. Woo! That means the SPY is probably going down too. All right, baby. Tesla just falling off a cliff. And we are printing. Come on, baby, keep going. 242. Let's see this thing collapse. If we get this channel here today, I'm gonna try to hold it to tomorrow for this, unless it just collapses today. Look at everything else is green, which is really strange. The SPY is sideways, but Tesla's falling off. Now that's interesting. Okay, well, I'll tell you guys what. I'm just going to close it because I'm up 20%. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'm going to close it because I was down considerably yesterday on my Tesla puts. I was down about $700 and now I'm up 20%. I'm just going to close it because if this thing does recover off of this 214 support again into the day, my puts will get ripped by Friday. So if you're still in Tesla, I'm not telling you to close. I'm closing because I'm up and I was down over 60% yesterday at one point in time because I got a bad entry. But if you got a better entry around here, you are rocking right now. Somebody, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember Wadley, this situation right here, where Biden basically started yelling at this auto union worker. And that's the only game he had. Biden didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to do. He's not intelligent. It's just crazy. By the way, again, I can't tweet anything. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a side account. Bill Gates man boobs. Absolutely hilarious, man. Not really much to post anyways, but yeah, might have closed my again, I might have closed my Tesla puts too early, but I'm not gonna risk where I'm up. When I was down over 50% and I came back up into the green territory printing, done. ARCC. Woohoo, baby. Holy shit. Look at her go. If you're in ARCC, congrats. It's one of my biggest regrets is I had over 70 grand in it at 10 to 15 bucks and sold it too early. Should have been collecting them dividends, man. I would have had a solid $8,000 to $9,000 income a year just off of that. So good morning, Miss Harris. And the crew, have a blessed day. You too, man. Just tagged you in a video, must watch. Yeah, that video, I remember that. I remember that on election year. I wanted to short Tesla a bit, but I don't know whether it would make sense after HE goes to 20. Yeah, so I'm playing these smaller plays short term until we see HE tomorrow. If the CEO comes out tomorrow and gives Congress a good, reasonable explanation, there's no reason the stock should stay at 13. There's none. Which today, 1260, it's up 0.5%. I mean, we're green across every one of our green plays. Every one of our long plays, we're green. And Tesla puts that we called out yesterday, we were red. We were green on that too. The stock's red, but we're green. And I'm glad I closed because I think this thing is going to rip back up. Let's see here. Instead of talking, I should have been taking out some calls. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's time to leave it alone. It's time to leave it alone. Ooh, boy. Woo! Should have held. If you're in Tesla puts, you're having a good day today. Hey, can somebody go on Twitter and tag me and type Tesla at T Spencer, Tesla puts printing? Nice call. I'd appreciate it. Sorry you got banned, bro. Sorry you got suspended, bro. Are you back in HE? I am back in HE. I got back in over a week ago when the news came out about the Lahaina firefighters. Let me bring it up. Maui firefighters took lunch as Lahaina blaze seemed dead, then it grew. This came out and we saw a little spike on the stock. It came back down. I was like, man, that is a lucky break for me. I got back in really, really heavy. Dude, Tesla puts are ripping, man. Should have held a little longer. But again, that's another 20% for me. Every single play we've made in the past 2 weeks, I've made at least 20% on, and I sold them way too early, especially the puts I think I had on Tesla last time. Those ran over 90%. I took a 25%, 30% profit on that one. The ARCC calls printed. I took profit on those. My HE calls are actually printing now, which is good. The short-term ones I've got, very, very small position, but those are doing good. So tomorrow, if HE gets good news and the CEO protects the company, and it's found that HE did not actually start the Lahaina blaze, we're good to go. See, and I even said I wanted that 241. I got to start listening to myself, man. Look at that. This looks like it is setting up for the rest of the week to absolutely take a dump down to that gap fill. Even though the SPY, SPY's falling off too. But really good stuff, man. What's your cost average on HE? Let me see. My cost average is 1330 right now, so not too bad. I'm down about $500 on my stock, which is not even concerned about, because regardless, say this all sorts of stuff out and we don't get a big pop from like news from the hearing, eventually the stock's going to recover eventually. And then if they reinstitute the dividend, say we don't get a big pop, we run back to 15 over time, then suddenly they come out and say, hey, we're going to put the dividend back up. As soon as they say that, that stock's going to go through the roof. So Tesla calls right now are expensive. Very expensive. Shit. I was just getting ready to pull the trigger on some calls, man. You know what? I'm not going to even do, I'm going to take the win, walk away, do exactly what I told myself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick some money back out from the win to my bank account, just like I said I would do. 50% of whatever I take. So I'm going to do that. Boom. So this week, between last week and this week, that's $1,000 easily. Within 7 days on the plays that we've made. And I just played small because most of my money's in HE and TMF. If I would have had more money and made bigger plays, we would have been looking really good. All right, what's going on here? Did I just transfer wrong? I'm so stupid. I did. Transferred the wrong way. There we go. Damn, those calls would have printed hard on that rebound. Very, very hard. Just texting. Cool. All right. Got paid twice today. Anytime I make a win, I'm taking 50% out. I'm sending it to my bank. To preserve profits, because this market doesn't like you making money, dude. Woo. My dog is barking at hot air balloons. Again. Well, but it's okay. They're not. Excuse me. I'm also eating my crispy chili shrimp bowl from T-Mobile that I told you guys about this morning. If you have T-Mobile, you download T-Mobile Tuesdays. You get really awesome deals from Panda Express on Tuesdays. The crispy chicken shrimp bowl, crispy shrimp chili bowl was $1. So if you have T-Mobile, you also get Netflix too. If you don't know, dude, man, I wish I would have pulled the trigger on them Tesla calls. I was right there. I was getting ready to click the button, man. Damn. We would have pulled 80-90% on these Tesla calls today, I bet. On the year, there's no daily head and shoulders. On the yearly is more like a bull flag. Monthly, maybe, yeah. Head and shoulders. So maybe it does go to the downside, but I think that's just overall market. I think Tesla's so big now, it has so much impact in the market that it runs and moves the market. So if Tesla's going down on head and shoulders, you better believe the rest of the market probably is too. Which fits our thesis. There's a ton of good posts talking about the TMF play. JP Morgan says it will pay $75 million to settle a lawsuit by the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's interesting. Bunch of Epstein clients there that JP Morgan was facilitating. Man, Tesla should have pulled the trigger on the calls and then just got out at open. Now it looks like maybe it's going to recoil back to the downside. I got to get quicker at making these plays, man. But I'm being a little more conservative lately. This market's been ripping people left and right. I'm seeing so many people complain about losing their money that we had to change our investment style from big all-in volatility plays on options, which I was making a killing on, to smaller options plays because the zero DTE is wrecking people. Smaller option plays for a shorter period of time with the market while we hold more stock on catalyst plays instead of options now. If you hold stock like HE and TMF, they cannot rip you out of it. What's the 200? Oh, let me catch up on these comments real quick. We need to find out if anyone on Congress has been loading HE. Yeah, I know. And that's what we're waiting for. DZZ is supposed to be in DC. He's going to try to do some research for everybody here. But I have a feeling that this hearing's on Thursday so that when the news comes out, they can load up and play the market on Friday. This is one of, you know what? This is one of those times, man. I've got September 29 HE calls, a very small position. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy a little more for the expiration of this Friday, because if good news comes out Thursday and it rips, these calls will go through the roof. But you better be prepared to lose your money if you do this. Right now they're extremely cheap, 25 cents a share. So I'm going to go ahead and bet $500 for, what's HE at? $13 strike for September 29. You know what? I'm only going to throw 300 at it. Ah, there we go. I'm going to add more, but I'll tell you what, if HE runs to 21 on that 500 total position that I have now on it, even though I have all the stock too, that 500 total long position, that thing will turn into like $3,000. And then I'll kick myself in the butt for not going all in. So excuse me. So tomorrow, if I start cheering really loud, you guys know why. One, because the stock is going to go through the roof, but two, because those week out expiration options on HE for 13 strike, if that thing runs to 21, those options are going to go up hundreds of percent. And this is a situation where one good piece of news could shoot the stock way up. 21. Well, I think it's got to tag 21 first. If HE tags 21, then it'll form a big cup right here, and we'll get a handle, and then it'll rocket back up to 31 if they decide to reinstall the dividend. I won't sell my stock at 21. I'll trim, and then I'll hold the other half for 31, because, I mean, 15 to 21, you know, that's a good 80%. I'll take a quarter out, and that way, if we do dip from 21 back to like 17 on like a cup and handle, if we form a cup here and we get a handle back down to 17, 18, somewhere like right here, then I'll buy in more, double my position up, and then if they reinstate the dividend, we go to 31 bucks for the gap fill. And then after that, you guys got to be careful what you do. If you want to hold it for the dividend the rest of your life, I mean, that might be smart. If it goes to 31 and comes back down to 27, but you're collecting a 42 cent dividend for every quarter, be a good run. For me, I don't know if it would be worth holding. I'd rather play the money. What the hell? That'd be 366 a quarter for me. Oh my God, Bing is so slow. $1,400 a year. Don't know if that's worth holding for me, man. I mean, you're just as good as, you know, buying a 5% treasury bill instead. I would rather put the money down on my home mortgage because unfortunately I am at 6%. I didn't have a choice though. I went from 3% on a $400 home on the river in Michigan to a 6% $2,000 a month payment to a home in Albuquerque, but I didn't have a choice. So I should have bought sooner. I planned on building on land I bought in Placitas. It was gorgeous up in the mountains. And I had everything done. I had all my designs done. And then inflation kicked up so bad that the building cost went from 310 to 510,000, and there was no way I was doing that. I would have been in debt the rest of my life. It was outside of my means once we got over 420. So I bought this house here, and I've been dumping money on it every month, like a ton of money, upgrading it, paying the mortgage off as quickly as possible. I've already got a ton of equity built up in my home. And the good news is they're building new businesses all around me. Big hospital, new businesses, new roads, new big corporate loft housing going in down the road for like the Intel and tech people. It's pretty incredible. So I'm not quitting before at least 21. Dude, Def 64, I think we got to play here, bro. I think HE is going to be an absolute banger of a play. When she goes in and tells them we did de-energize, the fire department left the scene of the fire that actually burned Lahaina down. If they de-energize, then HE is not at fault. If a power line falls and starts a fire and it's reported and claimed that it's put out, that's not HE's fault. That's the fault of the government. And then in that, they even said that the fire hydrants were dry. The emergency management services completely failed the island. The people are starting to sue the local governments. So, Bubba, no Panda Express for puppies. Oh yeah, the Tesla calls would have been great this morning, dude. I was right there too. I was right here getting ready to click the button, and the thing just went through the roof. Sucks. All right. Is there any possibility that it goes down after the hearing? Yeah, of course there is. There's absolutely 100% possibility that something bad gets said and HE goes down. And I take a hit. I take a loss. To me, though, the chart looks really good. We've had 2 points where we should have broke out to the upside and it obviously got slammed down by institutions. We had calls up to 1564. We should have broke out of a cup and handle formation and rocketed. They shorted the piss out of it, ripped the calls. I was up over $2,000 on that one. Took a small hit. Then wrote it down to 1190. We came all the way back up. I got out. This is right where the news came out that the Lahaina firefighters, the Maui firefighters, left the scene of the fire. And luckily, it got smacked back down and I bought back in. We hit 1206 the other day. I bought a little bit more on the dip, actually, and I just bought more calls this morning. So I'm betting big on this one. The CEO originally, when this all started, the fire started, and then immediately the Maui government came out and filed a lawsuit against Hawaiian Electric without any type of investigation going on. This company was paying a 36-cent dividend the entire time, and they paid it out even in this situation, and then they suspended it after earnings. Boom, gets rocked, comes back up. Somebody gets short big time down here, loading up, trying to short this thing to zero because they think it's going to be another PG&E. The CEO came out and said, no, we de-energized the lines. We did not cause the fire. Maybe the initial brush fires that started, but we did not burn down Lahaina. And they showed records to the ATF supposedly that they de-energized the lines. We spiked. We were winning. Shorts came back in, piled in. And then it's been pretty much algorithmically traded, in my opinion, for the past month. Now we're starting to see a little hiccup where it's this downside I don't think was supposed to happen. They brought it back up. Pre-market this morning was just barcoding dots. And then we had big volume open up this morning. On the sell side, it looks like 331,000, but it's not affecting the stock to the downside, which means maybe somebody's covering potentially. I don't know. So really interesting. I tell you what, though, today is going to be a fun day for me because I'm going to lay around and do nothing. I'm going to play my video games and relax. HE should be at like 40. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, anything past the gap fill on 31, I'm not risking it. If we get a 31 gap fill, that's like 200%, man. I'm out. This market is primed up to rip people out of their profits. They've been doing it for weeks. CGC, I forgot who called that, but that's up another 7% today. That's interesting. Huh. Canopy growth. You know what? I said I was going to buy some. I'm going to jump in. I'm actually, does it have options? CGC. How much are the options? What do they cost? Buy to open. Let's, October 13s. $1. Just do $1. 17 cents. If this thing runs, say this thing runs back to like $1.14 or something like that, back up to these ranges, that's a nice cup it's forming. Handle, say this thing breaks out and runs. Canopy Growth Corp. I'm going to go ahead and throw $500 at it on some October 13s. Do I want to? Do I want to play options on this one? Would have been nice yesterday. Nice cup. It is a triple top though. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Let's see. Boom, boom. I mean, the stock is so cheap, it might be better just to buy the stock. Might be way safer. If this thing breaks back out, goes up to $1.50 or so. What do I want to do here? Complete lotto play, guys. I don't know much about canopy growth. The old lawsuits keep putting in the headlines. Yeah, it's stupid. It just ran from 40 to $1.70. Wait for it to get to 80 to 90. Well, it already did yesterday. It was at 80 to 90. That's the thing. I should have got in yesterday. Let's see. What's the RSI, though? The RSI is mid-level. We'll wait. We'll wait. I don't know. Look at the MACD's getting ready to flip, though. I'm going to get in right now. And the RSI is good enough shape, so I'm just going to buy. I'm going to buy some options on it. CGC, Canopy Growth, Action, Buy. It's a complete lotto play, you guys, so don't follow me into this one unless you're willing to lose. October 13s, $1.50, 7 cents. Wow, they just devalued the options, got really cheap all of a sudden. 50. I got a full week on it. All right, pulling trigger. Edit. Included fees. Why am I getting a fee for buying options on Fidelity now? It must be because of the type of stock that it is. So what? Fidelity's charging commission now? All right, pulled the trigger. Bought about $400 worth of CGC calls at 7 cents a share. So let's see if this thing gets any good news or any type of event coming up this week. And see what happens. That thing rips off. Not 100% sure what the news was that made it rip like that, but if it's going to pick up again. We got that nice candle too. We bought right on that candle. Again, guys, I think TMF is going to be just a banger play coming up here pretty soon. You have so many things coming out on Twitter. Folks talking about TLT now, TMF, and then bar chart and them guys. A lot of finance analyst dudes and gals. I hear it right there. Investors continue to allocate capital to TLT despite it continuing to drop to new lows. What's that saying about falling knives? Don't catch a falling knife. But problem is, we're talking about the bond market. How low are they really going to let TLT and TMF go? Via that it's the bullish side of the bonds. And now you have asset managers loading up on bonds while hedge funds are shorting the piss out of them. And Michael Burry's got a 1.4 billion short against the stock market. The stock market collapses, people are going to flood into bonds. God damn Twitter, man. So annoying. So more or less, okay, maybe it does set up and look like a falling knife potentially on the daily. But I mean, we're talking, this has been shorted to oblivion after it's squeezed. It's cyclic. Bonds aren't going to go to zero unless the government defaults, I guess. Good boy, Bubba. Got a good dog, man. Two good dogs. But let's just brainstorm here a little. The largest U.S. Treasury short position in history, short on Treasury bonds in history, 500 billion or more. Burry took out a 1.4 billion bet against the market. Hedge funds are shorting U.S. Treasury bonds at record levels, and asset managers are loading up on them. It's only a matter of time before the cycle flips, and people flood into bonds and leave the market because the market is up for some serious downside, which we can even see on the SPY. The SPY's got a huge gap down here. 393, if we gap 393, you better believe it's probably going to oscillate back down to these ranges here. 340, 330, some 350. So, I mean, even today, let's see what we're doing today. SPY's correcting back down today. I'm going to go ahead and take out some long-term SPY puts right now. Well, let's double check my chart again. Let's see. I thought by what I did that this thing is going to oscillate. So we got a gap to the upside. I think it needs to fill this upside gap and then come back down. Maybe it just completely falls off a ledge and it goes down. If we're not in, we miss the play. If we do get in now and it does do what I think it's going to do, which is oscillate back up and follow this channel down over time, then it's a problem. So I may actually look at taking out some calls, because look at the MACD on this right now. It looks like it's working down to gap fill. Here's the gambit. Does it gap fill up first and then come down and gap fill 419, which is exactly what my chart shows. When I copied this pattern, it's exactly what this shows if it oscillates. Let's stick with the original thesis that I have on this. with this charting. I like it because we are hitting the bottom side of the down channel. MACDs through the floor, RSIs through the floor. I think this thing's going to come back up and do exactly what I thought. I'm going to go ahead and buy some midterm calls on the SPY. Let's see what everybody says first, though. I want to see what you guys are saying. I want to see TMF at 470, and I'm ready. You might get it, man. I'll buy more if it goes under 450. Disney gets smoked down to 60. YTF, they care about HE losses, but not AMC. I know, right? Right? Isn't that funny? They put headlines as new articles. Yeah, all the lawsuit ambulance chasers, the local government, the governor is actually going after these ambulance chasers, keeping them off the island. So that's good. Don't forget the old lawsuit. Yep, that's exactly it. They just keep recycling the same lawsuit. It's just ambulance chasers, nobody lawyers. So, all right. I'm going to stick with my SPY thesis here. I'm going to go ahead and nail some calls. I'm going to go ahead and buy some calls for 431 maybe. Let's check pricing. Buy to open, call. All right, let's on the chart. Let's check our days here. What do we got for days? That would be October 3rd and the big move. October, if this fills the gap, that would be by October 6th. So let's do October 9. Calls. I'm going to get 431 maybe. Let's check the price. It's pretty expensive. 430s are like 30 cents more. Surprised. What's the top of the gap fill? 438. What about 434s? Let's see. $1.92 a share. About 30 cents between each dollar. $435s, which is $2 to $3 under the 438 gap fill line, $1 under the 436 gap fill start. Even if we come up, say we don't get this triangle, if we slam back up and hit this gap fill line here, more than likely it's just going to gap fill, and then it's going to come back down. So I'm going to go ahead and place this order. I'm going to get it in. This is out till October 6th, October 9, because this time frame right here is the 3rd to the 6th. That gives us a little bit of time. If it runs in some kind of freakish bull rally, and a bear market run, we can go ahead and pull puts right at the top of this upper trend line again and possibly ride this thing back down in a market crash to a gap fill to 419. So I'm going to go ahead and nail these out right now. So short-term October 9 calls on the SPY, which I just got cheaper. $1.61 a share. All right. So now we're set up 3 different ways. We cashed out on our Tesla profits this morning on our puts again, second time in the row. Now we're set up for the SPY on a short-term recovery to gap fill, which RSI on the dailies through the floor, MACD's through the floor. It's probably getting ready to tick back up a little bit, hopefully. If it doesn't matter because we got TMF on the other side long. So we're betting downside on the SPY. If it goes down and I don't get the calls printing, TMF should go up because when the market goes down, TMF should recover. So, boom, it hits that. We'll stay out. I'm going to do the SPY calls, see if we can get this gap fill. If we do, we cash out. Boom, then we wait. I'm not going to play this potential little bit of downside. If it runs like crazy back up to this trend line, then I'm going to look at puts again to the downside, and we're going to keep following these M patterns. We'll call them the M oscillators. Boom, 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 all the way down to the gap. There's two gaps. There's one here at 420. I think this thing is going to oscillate all the way back down to this gap at 393 potentially, which makes sense because if people are leaving the market, Burry's short the market huge, then people are leaving the market because there's nothing but downside and bad economic data. CPE is going to come out soon. If it's bad or it's hot, the market crashes, the SPY goes down, oscillating into the soft landing, into the gap fills. And as that happens, people flood into bonds. Boom, TMF, we rock. This is going to be a good year. I feel really keyed in. I feel really confident. The only unknown we have is tomorrow what's going to go on with the Hawaiian Electric thing. So we just got to wait for the House subcommittee on energy and the CEO to testify. And I'm going to be watching it close. I'm going to be watching and streaming the testimony, and I'm going to be watching and listening for any keywords. And if I see HE start falling off of a bad statement, I'm just going to dump it. I'm not going to take a big loss on HE, which we're up 1.2% today, baby. Let's see. It'd be funny if this thing just started rocking after hours today because somebody knows what's going to be in the testimony. All right, come on, SPY. Time to recover. RSI's through the floor on the 5-minute too. Time for a little reprieve. Let's go. All right, well, space is at $1.65, going to $1.50, probably. I'm not even watching it. I'll load up more at $1.50. I like the company. What they're doing is incredible. I mean, when you really step back and think about what space is doing, and that's exactly where our falling wedge is going, man. $1.50. Maybe we break out there. So good call on that one. I've had this falling wedge up for a while now, and tried to break out here. It failed, and then it just got smoked with the downside of the market. If we get a short-term reprieve on the SPY, that's going to line up perfectly with this thing going to $1.50. If we don't break out before that, actually, I'm going to load a little more space right now. Just buying stock on this one. I'm telling you, one day when this market recovers, or if we get, say, and I don't care if you're left or right, whatever, we get Trump back in office and investor confidence returns, this is going to be something incredible. Or if they announce they've landed some type of NASA contract, I'm going to go ahead and just throw 200 at it today. And then if this thing does go down to $1.50, I'm going to load a couple grand again up on this. And I'm just going to keep building a position. It blows my mind. This cash, what's going on here? Oh, limit order. What's the current price? $1.64. I have watched the launches. I'm an old aviation guy. I understand what they're doing. Their flight team looks awesome. Their PR is awesome. And the stock used to trade at 60. They did a bunch of cash raises, but somebody has shorted space down to the dirt. The short interest report's really low, but the problem is I remember seeing space shorted over 30% at one point in time during the meme stock thing. I think these people are short all these stocks. Here's my theory. The meme stock short thesis is correct. These guys are short the entire market. These are the same guys that were upside down on Tesla for 20 years and got destroyed during the mortgage crisis of 08. I think they've shorted everything so much that they can never cover. Like, it's not a good play to be in if you're like an AMCer where you're like, well, they're stuck, they can't cover. Well, if they can't cover, you're never going to get a squeeze. Here's the thing. Eventually, when this market flips over on its heels and our TMF play starts going through the roof, you're going to see a lot of shorts get blown out. A lot of banks are going to get blown out. And I think those positions are going to be force covered in some kind of insurance thing or something. But I see space eventually in, let's just say, 5 years, when they really start picking up traffic and or they get another couple planes and another couple rockets built and they start really flying things more often into space, people, or they get a contract from NASA to start doing atmospheric studies or whatever, that's going to be a big thing for them. The tech in the company is incredible, and nobody can come out and tell me that it's not. What they're doing is incredible, and the stock's $1.50. A spaceflight company at $1.50 that used to trade at 60, that's got $938 million on their books. We had a beautiful channel here between 6 and 3, and nothing bad has happened the entire time. Nothing bad has happened to space this entire downside. And look at the gaps back up to here. They haven't had any crashes. They haven't had any incidents. They haven't had any fines. All they've been doing is exactly what they said they were going to do. There's a big gap to the upside right here. If this breaks out, it may break out like nobody's business. If this thing runs back to $5, I'll cash out, man. I'll take a 200% gain on it. So it doesn't make any sense that space is at $1.50. They haven't done any new cap raises. They have a little cash burn, but they got $980 million cash on the books, $383 million in debt, but they're well funded. I mean, now that they're actually flying and they're putting people in space, they may become some type of national infrastructure with their process. So I'm just waiting. Tesla, what's the SPY doing? All right, there we go. Maybe starting a little rebound on the SPY. It'll be ugly into Friday, but next week I think you're going to see some rippy rip. We're already below max pain on Tesla, so there's no point in pushing Tesla much lower. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. But if the SPY rebounds after Friday, say Monday, the SPY just pops and we start moving into this theorized trend, this oscillating M. If we gap fill on those options I bought, those are going to be bangers. Like I'll take a break and go celebrate. Those are going to be great. Plus, at the same time, we got HE lined up, which is starting to creep up today too. So very good. All right, guys, that's about all I got. Let me see if there's any comments before I kick off here. I want to see TMF at 470. Space, yep, almost there for me. RWK TMF 490 tomorrow. They need money before 2025, 2026. Sure, though. They've got $980 million in cash on hand. I doubt they do another capital raise. Maybe they do a reverse split. But we've seen a couple times in the past where companies that do reverse splits actually go through the roof. I can't remember what one just did it. The stock went bananas. On this one, if they reverse split and it goes back to, say they do 10-1 and we go back to $14, then we just buy puts on that to the downside while we hold our long or dump our long, because you may get a short reprieve if they reverse split and raise cash. Say they come out and raise another $500 million. That's really hard to short a company with $1.4 billion in cash on hand. They had a hard time shorting AMC until they got under $500 million. So we held $1 billion in cash 6 months and we stayed around 27 to $38. So they need money. I agree. Market has to crash for hedges to get even. Yeah, I think all the hedge funds are absolutely screwed, and they're under bank umbrellas. The banks created regional banks like crazy in the past 20 years, and the big banks underwrote those banks like MCB and JP Morgan. So now the regional banks can collapse under the housing market, under the credit defaults, and under the auto loan defaults. They can collapse, and then the hedge funds that are so short, which they got blown out in Tesla for 20 years, man. They're so short the market. They're over short the market and over short bonds that there's no way out for them. If they're short all these meme stocks, then why are they shorting bonds so much? Maybe they won on their bond side so far, but if they stay in this and the market flips and one or two big short sellers on the bonds decides to run for the exit and scream fire on the way out, this could be a big event. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I know they have a big burn rate, but you got to understand what they're burning cash for. And maybe they come out and announce that they have to build another jet or another rocket, and that costs a lot of money too. But the tech alone, somebody could come out and buy space out tomorrow. $1.65, 500 million shares outstanding. If somebody comes in and buys Virgin Galactic space flight portion out tomorrow, the stock will go through the roof. It's literally primed for it. But anyways, that's all I got, guys. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince you to buy space. I'm in space because I like the company, I like the stock, and I like the opportunity that there may be a potential buyout. I'm going to hold it long. I'm going to hold it long just because I really enjoy the company. I love what they're doing. It's incredible. And they're doing it here out of New Mexico. So if and buts for candies and nuts. Yeah, making words that rhyme. I get what you're saying. Making words that rhyme to try to prove a point in a market that you can't predict doesn't really do any better though. So, I mean, like I said, here's my space thesis. One, it's Virgin Galactic. It's Bronson, man. Like Sir Richard Bronson. Dude's he's on a mission. Their jets work, their rockets work, their pilots work, their flight infrastructure works. They've got really cheap land out where they're at and Truth or Consequences. They have really great flight windows, and they're already preloaded up on ticket sales to take people into space that they now have to facilitate. All it's going to take is one government contract. It's going to take one buyout offer. An offer. If somebody came out and said, we'll give Virgin Galactic X amount of money for its space flight program tomorrow, and it's in the billions, say $3 billion, the stock would go through the roof. It would explode on that rumor, and then you get out on the volatility. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not a huge position in it. I've just got enough for if it runs like I think it will, then we're going to make moves. So Tesla's recovering. SPY, there, look at that pop on the SPY. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Let's go. Is this where the SPY freaks everybody out? Everybody who is too bearish. My SPY calls are printing. My HE calls are printing. Boom. Up 5% on HE. Up 7% on my SPY calls. CGC calls are down 30%. What happened there? How are they down? It's going up. We bought them at bottom. It must be really, really. I should have looked at the implied volatility on CGC. And the options are so cheap, it probably is not going to move much. I should have just probably bought the underlying. But we'll have fun. This is a play where if this thing just rips up to $1.50, then we're going to make money on it. Oh no, now my HE calls are down again. Look at how fast they ripped the calls out on HE though. Just that little bit of movement took 7% away from the value of my calls on the upside. But I'm heavy on stock, which is, with this creeping up, is really fixing my portfolio. So I don't even have $2,000 in space right now. I only got $1,700 bucks. And the upside potential is high. For at least back to 250. HE calls, SPY calls. What's up, SPY? Let's go, baby. Rip. Hope the SPY just goes and rips people's faces off to the upside now. See? No perma bull, no perma bear. TMF, I'm down 13% on. That stings a little bit, but that's a long-term play. So there it is, guys. That's my portfolio. That's my position. That's my stance. I really appreciate you guys coming in. Great chat this morning. I was hurting a little bit in the head, so wasn't as energetic. Please like the video. Always appreciate it. And please feel free to, if you find anything new, to tag me in Twitter and post it, because I won't be able to respond or like it or anything. But if you want me to see something, tag me in Twitter and post it, and I'll come in and shoot a message. I'll start shooting messages under this, or I'll use my side account on Twitter, which is Bill Gates Man Boop. So there you go. Either way, you guys have a great day. Froggy Snacks out.